Penn State's training camp is ongoing. Plenty of news and updates to dive into. There's been a lot of opportunities, Justin, for the public, the fans, to kind of get a look at this team a little bit more than usual than we've gotten used to under James Franklin. Some open scrimmages, some open practices, which is very odd. Like that just doesn't happen that often under James Franklin. Likes to keep everything close to the vest and not allowing fans to take videos and pictures of stuff, obviously wanting to have a competitive advantage. But this has been really interesting to see the program kind of open up its doors that way. And as a result, we're learning a lot more. The layperson, at least, is learning a lot more about this team. But overall, you have fabulous connections, obviously, to the team. What's the overall vibe you're feeling from the team right now?
I mean, the vibe from the team is, got to come ready to play for and meet the expectations. I feel from just talking to different people, is everybody just getting on the same page. Obviously, at the beginning of camp, the defense is ahead of the offense when we come to the development of actually operating. We looked at the athletic article from the open practice and talk about the defense dominating, but Penn State having an elite defense, you would expect them to be a little bit ahead of the offense at this moment. But at the same time, it seems like a lot of promise of where the offense is and where they're moving towards. And just to piggyback on what you said, the practices being open, I think is extremely important when you talk about the new age of college football, NIL, and all these different aspects. I'm looking forward to not only open practices, but like all the different rules across the country where freshmen are allowed to speak. Like we saw it in the Johnny Manziel episode. I mean, Penn State used to be essential for a freshman not to be able to speak to the media, but with now NIL building out that brand and giving that full access and fan engagement, starting from like a league operations standpoint, you knew from WWE or even from being on that side, fan engagement is the key to this whole sports and entertainment business. So for coaches that want to excel and get whether it's donations or people to support, you have to provide some level of access. And I think that's what we're seeing now with these open practices in training camp, which is, it's one thing to do it in spring ball when you're, almost 6 months away from the season, but 2 weeks away, open practice, that's new day age of football, man.
Yeah. I mean, considering that one practice was Saturday evening and it was pouring rain out and you still had fans out there in attendance. And honestly, like there's no part of me that is shocked by that because I have been one of those fans that sat through rainy, nasty games, horrible weather, bad situations altogether. So I get it. And there's a lot of promise for this team altogether. I wanted to hit on something you mentioned there, and there is a great article on The Athletic. Audrey Snyder, who always does a phenomenal job covering Penn State football,
Absolutely.
talking extensively about the team. But the overall sense, a number of media outlets, a number of players, former players, coaches, whoever you talk to, the discussion surrounding this Penn State defense is not just that, oh, they're going to be good, right? It's that this could be top 5, top 3 in the country good. You were just saying kind of at this point in camp, you almost expect that just because there is that installation period with the offense where they're just trying to get things organized, and that aforementioned Saturday evening scrimmage, open practice, whatever you want to call it. The offense struggled a little bit. So it's just a matter of letting people know, like, hey, don't freak out necessarily about how Drew Aller and the rest of the team is doing on offense. But it just sounds like the more and more we hear about the defense is that this would be one of the best defenses Penn State has seen under James Franklin. What do you feel?
I mean, I feel that way too. I think it was some glimpses of that last year. We've just seen the type of explosive plays, the length that they had on defense. Obviously, they had Joey Porter and some other guys out there, but just the speed, the team speed in general, right? From the safeties, the secondary, the linebackers got Abdul, and then the front seven with the defensive line. I mean, just the makeup of the whole team and team speed from from a baseline standpoint is impressive to begin with. Now you add in some cohesiveness with the secondary coaches. You add in Manny coming with the exotic defense and blitz packages and things of that nature. Now you're really starting to cook with gas. And I mean, again, we saw it last year, and just think of that being elevated from another year of experience, guys playing together, understanding where you're going to be. It's a feel thing playing on defense, recognizing where someone might fill a hole and you have to make them right, or how someone might play a play in the back end. I mean, that year of working together really just shows. And so that's why you would expect that to be for them to be ahead at this point. But at the same time, just the talent and sheer athleticism and speed that they have on the defense cannot be understated.